Okay, Alan, here we go. Making a little movie for you as far as doing that Phantom. So when you do it, I have a lot of this automated. So let me just tell you that I'm going to be kind of slow talking through this, because see, all I do is I come over here to a preset and I click Inspire, and everything clicks into play. All right, or it used to be with the Phantom, I just click Phantom and everything would click into play. Now, the Phantom 3 files are more like my Inspire files, so that's why I'm clicking on Inspire to get me to the preset of where it was. So to show you the before and after, this is reset everything. This is the way you sent it to me, and this is my adjustment. And of course, whatever I do to this, I'm going to upload it onto the Pro Forum. But right off the bat, what I want to show you, make you aware of, is all of my sharpening numbers. So amount 58, radius 1, detail 12, masking 55, noise reduction 46, luminance detail 32, luminance contrast 48, color 100, color detail 26. That's the first thing I want you to take note of. And when you zoom in, let's see, where were you zoomed in? I think it was over in here somewhere. When you zoom in, let me back off. That's a little bit strong. What I have found with this particular, with these drones is, how about right about there, that in some scenarios, and this may be one of them, what you need is you need to adjust your sharpening amount right here. And so when you get kind of high, you get this weird pasty painted effect if you're really zoomed in. And that can be controlled with your noise reduction, with your luminance detail, your luminance contrast. A lot of it can be, and also color detail can be kind of manipulated in there. Then with the radius, you can kind of get a lot of that in there. And in your case, you may prefer it a little bit sharper, like in this general area or somewhere in that general area. So in this one, I just kind of doing a real quick adjustment, fiddle farting with the DNG file, the raw file, so as to get the sharpness kind of like the way I want it. Now once I get that the way I want it, let me back this up to a full screen. And the other thing I want, hopefully, I'm sure you know about it, but for anybody else watching this, that Adobe allows for a profile. Now, I think it's got, let's see, lens profile none. Apparently the Phantom 3 lens correction isn't coming in just yet. But I know, for example, the Inspire and the Phantom 2, they do make a profile for it, where it straightens out this curvy line right here, and it does a couple other things that it really cleans it up. So, but you can manually do it, like right here. I'm going to take and I'm going to adjust just a little bit of a rotation like that. Then I'm going to zoom in just a little bit to get rid of that edge. And again, I'm pretty sure you know about this, but there's probably a lot of people that don't. Then I can adjust the distortion level right here. See how I'm straightening out that horizon? Zoom back in just a little bit. And these are just some little tweaks that Adobe will do absolutely automatically for you once that profile. Now it might be just my computer and it hasn't been adjusted. The other raw conversion that enhances these images tremendously is right after, the detail thing and also the lens correction thing, but also right in here, this 1, 2, 3, 4th HSL and grayscale. Under luminance, you can adjust, for example, the brightness of the blues. And I personally, in your image's case, prefer those blues darkened down like that. Now the greens, I think they were pretty good where they were. Now this orangey color, it's that orangey grass color right in there. You might kind of want to take that up a little bit. The yellows, which come off as green too, but it's actually yellow. You can adjust all of the luminance for those things. Now once you do that, then you can mess with the saturation. Like the blues, we can make it real deep, or we can lighten it up a lot. I like that deep blue color. You can also take the greens and make them nice and lush. You can make the yellows really, really bright. That orangey color, you can kick that up a little bit. Then, under hue, you can shift your yellow grass to more of a greenish color. And that's under right here, the yellow. It slides from reddish, yellow, and goes all the way out to green. So that's another little trick that you can do. Now, once you get it to this point, then you click Open Image, and it should open up in Photoshop sooner or later. It's thinking. Any minute now. Alright, so then we get the image opened inside Photoshop. And let's go back to that general area where you was concerned about the sharpness. It's an action on the Pro Forum. It's a sharpening action. So I'm going to run that sharpening action. Let's see. Control. Right there. And that is too much sharpening. Then I back off. I fade that amount of sharpening down to somewhere in that general area. And then I take and go image, hold on. Filter, Imagenomics, Noiseware. And I run the Noiseware on it. Okay. And that takes out a lot. I don't know if you saw it in here, inside the brick and some of these other areas. Now, if you feel like the Imagenomics softened it entirely too much, you could fade that before you do anything else. And if I recall, on my preset, I do fade that a little bit like that. Now, what I have done is I've created an action to do all these things automatically. And that action, for me, is right here under, where is it? So many actions, so many things. Let's see, let me go find it. It is under, I think, maybe real estate. Yes, my Inspire first run and Phantom first run. What I do is I crop, I do a little bit of a sharpen, fade, Noiseware, fade. Okay? So while it's doing the raw conversion and converting it into a PSD or a JPEG or whatever it is I happen to be doing, I automatically have it doing all of this first run, this sharpening and fading and Noisewaring and all that stuff. So that whenever I'm done, at this point, what you're looking at on the screen right here, this is where I'm at. The crop that I run is just a standard, what I call the 1DX crop, which it takes a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom. So I'm going to do that on this image also, so that now what you have is an image that's exactly like what I do whenever I run the Inspire images or my Phantom images. And I find that if you go through that sequence of sharpening in the raw conversion, tweaking those colors, using the profile inside the raw converter, and then adding that saturation and shifting the greens and all those different things, then finally running the sharpening and the Noiseware and all this other stuff, what you end up with is a pretty darn good straight out of the camera, which it isn't, of course, straight out of the camera, converted file that you can then, at that point, proceed to do a little bit of fanciness to it, like maybe in this case I might take down this middle area. It looks a little bright to me. All right, I might take up these edges a little bit right into here. And I mean, there ain't a whole lot of stuff you can do. You could add a little bit of saturation. Let me see, I don't think I'm gonna want to do a whole lot, but maybe a little bit of saturation across these trees, across this blue area. About right in there and right in there, so that it brings it up, makes it a little bit more fun to look at. Now, I will then, at this point, I have inside of here, I have a Perfect Soft that I have created just for real estate. And what it does is it doesn't do like the softening and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and run that Perfect Soft on your image right now. Oh, Lord, what did I do? I must have hit the wrong button. Hold on. What in the world? Hang on. Right there. Let me flatten this thing before we go any further. And let me now run. I don't know what in the world I ran. Play. It's going to ask me to save it. Hold on. Let me just throw that on the desktop. Alright, it adds a lot of warmth to it. Now in this case, I feel like that's maybe a little too much warmth. It then does my snap action. Notice it did not run portraiture because it's, you know, it's silly to run portraiture on a real estate type thing. And then it runs levels, kind of at a little bit here and a little bit of clipping there. So this is before, after. Okay, so I'm going to save this file at this point and upload it to the Proform full resolution for you to download and do whatever the heck you want with. This is the process that I run through images with actions and all this other good stuff so as to produce an image out of a drone that the average Joe Blow cannot produce, because they don't know Photoshop the way we know Photoshop. They don't know the sequence of events like we know the sequence of events. So hopefully that helps you to see that when you're done, let's go back into this general area right here. It is much sharper than you think. I have made 24 by 30s easy, and they look darn good off of that camera still. So there you go. Hope that helps. Thanks for being on the Proform. Bye.